Hey cats, what's happening? Hey, if a lot of you are like me, you're itchy to ride. Itchy? Huh, maybe that's why they call me Itchy. Anyway, summer's a long ways off. I mean, it's the middle of January for Pete's sake. We're not even close to spring yet. But maybe it's time to start planning for that next big ride. A lot of rallies around the country. If you plan on going to one, now's the time to start thinking about it. Today I'm going to try to answer the question for you. Is the Sturgis, South Dakota biker rally for me? I've got a lot of experience. I've been out to Sturgis quite a few times. I've ridden out there one time I trailered a bike out there, and it will be the last time that I trailered out there. Rode out there every time though, about 1,700 miles from here. Nice long ride, about a 2-day ride. Some guys will make it in 3 days. Depending on where you're coming from though, some people will ride thousands of miles. Some people will ride only 100 miles to get there. But let it be known, it is the biggest motorcycle rally in the United States, aside from Daytona. In 2015, I believe, which was the 75th anniversary of the Sturgis Rally, the attendance figures were upwards to 740,000 people there, almost 750,000 people, bikers, motorcycles everywhere. So be aware before you even think about going there, you need to plan way in advance. You're going to have to know where you're going to stay when you get there. And I'm going to tell you, because there's that many people there, everything fills up fast. Hotel reservations for any kind of a decent hotel are going to fill up years ahead of time. You may be able to book a room somewhere, but in the immediate Sturgis area, I doubt it. Rapid City is the nearest largest city to Sturgis. Probably about 100 miles away, about an hour ride from Rapid City into Sturgis. So you probably would find some lodging there, I suppose. The campgrounds are going to fill up pretty quick. There's a lot of neat campgrounds there. Some of them are big campgrounds. Some of them are little campgrounds. It depends on what you want. But know one thing, if you're going to be anywhere in the Sturgis area, it's going to be a party. When you arrive there, the traffic's going to be very heavy. I can tell you from experience that the police, the State Highway Patrol, are hot on it. They're watching everything. I got pulled over on the highway coming into Rapid City, checked my motorcycle registration and equipment to make sure it wasn't stolen, because stolen motorcycles are a big thing in Sturgis. There's a lot of theft going on. The cops are all over that. They're checking everything. They're watching everything. So security is essential to making your plan to go out there. The campground selections are pretty cool. They got some really large campgrounds there. Now, I can only tell you from experience about the Buffalo Chip, because that's the one that I stayed at. It is like a kind of a self-contained city or community in itself. If you plan on staying at the Buffalo Chip, you'll have everything you need. You could spend the entire week there without ever leaving the camp. They have grocery there. They have restaurant. They have vendors there, jewelry, t-shirts, gifts, entertainment all the time, day and night, and lots of booze. They have everything you need there. So partying, entertainment, you never have to leave. If you do leave, you plan to want to ride somewhere. Some of the, you are going to be in the Black Hills of South Dakota. It's a very touristy area, very beautiful. There's a lot of sights to see. Let's take Mount Rushmore for one. Mount Rushmore is going to be about an hour drive from Sturgis. You'll want to plan ahead. It's going to be crowded when you get there if the weather's nice. You'll be fighting a lot of people. And be aware when you go to these places, there are fees to get in. Mount Rushmore is a national monument, so the national parks charge you a fee to enter that area. And then there's a big plaza area, and there's some trails that you can hike to go closer to the monument itself. So that's kind of a neat destination. They did have some food there and things like that too at Mount Rushmore. One of the big things to see there also is a Crazy Horse Monument. And that carving is still not completed yet, but it's real interesting to look at. And I don't remember how much it cost, but it was pretty costly to get in there. And that's privately operated by, I think, an Indian tribe there. And I don't know the history on that either. If you were to ride to Custer State Park, where the buffalo have a open range, you ride the parkway there, and there's a good chance you're going to come upon the buffalo actually walking across the road. And it's kind of scary, but it's really neat. It's something you're not going to see anywhere else. It's going to take you probably about an hour, hour and a half to ride down there to Custer. And then once you do the wildlife loop, you got a good hour just riding that, if not more, depending on how much time you'll take. So that's going to be probably a day ride right there. Lots of riding, lots of miles. If you plan to go to Devil's Tower, which is in Wyoming from Sturgis, a little day trip while you're out there. Devil's Tower is going to be about an hour and a half away into Wyoming. And you'll find that in the Sturgis area, every little town, every little burg in that area is biker rally. So it doesn't matter where you go, you're going to find biker rally. Vendors and motorcycles everywhere, and customs and events going on all over the place. In fact, it pretty much takes up about a quarter of the state of South Dakota and floods out into Wyoming itself. It's a huge event. Now, know this when you get into Sturgis, again, crowds, traffic is a huge problem, parking is a huge problem. For a motorcycle, I can fit that in anywhere. In Sturgis, good luck. It's very hard to find a place to find a motorcycle to park, where to park a motorcycle in Sturgis because of the massive volume of bikes there. They are parked everywhere. And I will tell you that the law is all over that too. The police watch no parking zones, and they will tow your bike right now. So make sure you're parked in a legal parking spot when you go to Sturgis. There's plenty of food there. There's entertainment. There's saloons there. Be aware too that if you're going to the saloons and you're drinking, the police are watching, and driving around there and drinking is definitely not recommended just because of the high volume of traffic in the area. It's absolutely nuts. Now, the other thing you may not be prepared for is the noise level. When you have, 500,000 motorcycles in one town, the thundering noise of Harley-Davidson V-twin engines is all day, nonstop, and all night. You will never be able to go anywhere without hearing motorcycles. So bring your earplugs, especially if you plan on sleeping. Either that or you're going to have to drink yourself to sleep. It's going to be very noisy. The campgrounds are noisy. There's a lot of partying going on. The entertainment goes on to the wee hours of the morning. And then the drunken revelry that goes on lasts most of the night. But the only time you're going to find it quiet there is maybe about 6 o'clock in the morning when everybody's passed out. And even then, you're still going to hear motorcycles. So just be aware of that. I don't know what else to tell you. It's it's an experience of a lifetime. If you're into motorcycles and you're riding there, you're going to have a good time. Be aware of this. The roads are a little mountainous, twisty, turny. They have the Iron Mountain Road. They have the Needles Highway there. Those are really cool roads to run on. But again, there's some pretty harrowing turns there, some grades. And you're going to be riding with all kinds of riders. You're going to be with experienced riders. You're going to be with amateur riders. And you're going to be riding around hot shots that like to show off. So you have to be prepared for anything. And during the 75th Sturgis anniversary, unfortunately, there were 15 motorcycle-related fatalities during that bike week there. I just caution you when you're riding to take the utmost caution. Watch out for the others, because you're going to see a little bit of everything. I saw it when I was out there. I saw some accidents. I saw a pickup truck that rode right up on the back end of a motorcycle. I don't know what happened to the operator or the passenger. They were taken away in an ambulance. I pray they weren't injured seriously, but it looked pretty bad. I saw motorcycles going too fast that ran off the road. Some that came left to center right at me. So that was a little scary, you know, hard up in the throat thing, like, now what do I do? Where do I go? So you got to be careful when you're riding out there. You'll need to know that the Sturgis Rally draws a big diversity of people, and that includes people from all over the country, some of them from outside the country. You're also going to see a lot of notorious clubs there. What do I mean by notorious? Just think of one famous motorcycle club. I guarantee you they're going to be there no matter which one you pick. The good, the bad, and the ugly. If that's what you're into, I'm sure you can make some connections. But best just to let them go their way, ignore them, go on your own way, and everything will be fine. If you're looking for trouble, there's plenty of trouble to be found in Sturgis. Let it be known that there's a lot of undercover activity that goes out there too, just to try to put a little bit of a control on the crime that happens there every year. So keep that in mind while you're there. There's a lot to do out there, a lot to see. It's a long week. A lot of people get there the week before the rally and stay through the whole thing. I recommend if you're going to go, you're going to have to stay there for a week is probably enough to see everything. To see Mount Rushmore, to see Custer, Devil's Tower, to stop at Hewlett, Wyoming. There's all kinds of parties going on everywhere. There'll be different bands playing at different campgrounds. There's a big campground called Glencoe there that has entertainment. The Buffalo Chip has top line bands playing there in the evenings. So, you know, plan accordingly. Look at the venue, see what you like. So is it for you? Maybe. If you like that kind of thing, I guarantee you're going to love it. On the other hand, if you don't like noise, you don't like the thunder of motorcycles, you don't like to party, maybe it's not for you. And one more thing I wanted to mention too is food. They have lots of food, lots of vendors there, lots of choices. But you may have a hard time finding seafood there. You may have a hard time finding like chicken there. It's the Midwest, so they sell a lot of beef, a lot of beef. When you get tired of hamburgers and steaks, you may want to go to McDonald's there in town or Pizza Hut. But again, be prepared. The line at McDonald's is clear out the door with everybody else trying to get in there and get something. So that's my take on it. Is Sturgis for you? Maybe. Till next time, ride hard and die free.